Because in true Tariq pe Tariq style, the decision what exactly happens to the Champions Trophy has been adjourned. The ICC has issued a statement saying all parties are committed towards finding a solution. But we know that's just PR speak, for we have no idea of how to resolve this. The fate of the 2025 Champions Trophy now hangs in balance with three options on the table. Option one is a hybrid model where India's matches are played outside Pakistan, UAE or South Africa, somewhere else, and the other matches are played in Pakistan. Now, this is what the ICC wants and trying to convince Pakistan. Option number two is if Pakistan does not comply, the entire tournament gets shifted out of Pakistan for now, but Pakistan keeps hosting rights for something in the future. Obviously, that's not something Pakistan is happy with. The third option is that India skips the tournament, it continues in Pakistan as scheduled, and India's place is taken by Sri Lanka. Now, obviously, this is something which India is preferring the least. It's also something which is the least likely also, given how much India holds clout in terms of sponsorship revenue. Pakistan claims that's unfair, that one country is able to hold the entire championship at ransom. But then let's face it, facts are facts. India is projected to earn $230 million annually, which is about 38.5% of the ICC's total revenue pool of $600 million. In contrast, Pakistan's share is much, much smaller at 34.51%. And you do the math, that's 5.75% against 38.51%. So obviously, India does hold the cards when it comes to money. But for a second, if that makes you feel sorry for Pakistan, consider what it is asking India to do. These are the visuals on my right the world saw in Pakistan this week, where a former prime minister who's in jail can wield enough power to shut down the capital. And the ensuing response from the state saw at least 6 people dead. These are the most conservative figures, 6 dead, many, many more injured and thousands arrested. Even the Sri Lanka A team finds it unsafe to visit the country at the moment, and the country expects India to visit. We know that we will have a big bullseye on our backs when it comes to terrorism. And then that brings me to this individual where the question is, are we really expected to trust this man? The man you'll see on the screens right now is Mohsin Naqvi. Mohsin Naqvi is, and if we can have that graphic on air in which he talks about Mohsin Naqvi. Mohsin Naqvi plays a double role. One as the Interior Minister of Pakistan, and one as the PCB chairperson. In his capacity as PCB chairperson, he is insisting that it is safe for India to visit Pakistan. As an interior minister, he is ordering a violent crackdown in Islamabad that killed 6 people. So evidently, this is not a man to be taken seriously. This is not a man whose words are to be trusted. The BCCI knows this. The External Affairs Ministry knows this, which is why it had made it very clear that come what may, India will not go to Pakistan to play under any circumstances, under any conditions. Listen in.
Siddhant, on Indian cricket team participating in Pakistan, the BCCI has issued a statement. So I would refer you to the statement. They have said that there are security concerns there, and therefore it is unlikely the team will be there, going there. But please do refer to the statement issued by the Board of Cricket Control in India.
अभी हमारी वार्ता चल रही है ना, और जब पूरा जो है ना एक फाइनल आउटकम आ जाएगा तो आपको अवगत कराएंगे, है ना। हम देखिए जो हालात हैं सब कुछ है, उनको देखते हुए फैसला लिया जाएगा। हमारे लिए खिलाड़ियों की सुरक्षा सर्वोच्च प्राथमिकता है। हाइब्रिड मॉडल भी एक ऑप्शन है ना, और भी ऑप्शंस हैं, तो उस पर वार्तालाप चल रही है।
Let me go across to my guests who are joining me at this point. We have Major General Dhruv Katoch and also Vedam Jaishankar, sports journalist. Thank you so much for joining me at this point. Vedam, I'll start with you first. And let's look at the cricketing aspect before I go across to the military and the security aspect with Major General Katoch. Vedam, what is happening in the ICC at this point? It's been a Tariq versus Tariq situation at this point. The ICC has come out and given a press release saying that we are committed to solving the situation. We took all suggestions on board and tomorrow we continue. But we all know what this means. The ICC has reached, and the ICC we talk is essentially the representatives of all these cricketing bodies, BCCI, PCB, etc. They've all reached an impasse and there seems to be no way out. What are your sources telling you, Vedam?
No, it's not a question of no way out. I think everybody realizes that certain things are not going to happen. One is Pakistan will not pull out of the tournament. It's just brinkmanship. They will not pull out because Pakistan cricket runs on ICC money. It's not like Indian cricket where the BCCI itself generates a lot of money. Pakistan needs ICC money to run its cricket. And if it pulls out, we don't know the consequences. Will it be banned for a year or two? What would happen? Now, Pakistan keeps giving examples of when teams in the past pulled out of tournaments. But let's not forget, at that time, those were tournaments which were hosted by individual countries, not by the ICC. Right now, the entire paradigm has shifted. These are properties of ICC. And ICC, whatever money it generates from this,
Okay.
that's the money it gives to the various nations. And Pakistan receives a chunk. It may not be a big chunk when you compare it with what India has, but that's all Pakistan gets. It doesn't get more than that. So the thing is, they have to go for a hybrid model. Now, why are they doing this brinkmanship? Like you correctly mentioned, Sri Lanka A itself is not willing to travel. Now, why is that happening? Because of the situation in Pakistan. Now, is this a way for Pakistan to say, we will not host this, we'll host it the next time? I don't know. They may be playing a game like that. But having said that also, we should also take into consideration what Pakistan is capable of. If the Indian players get kidnapped in Pakistan, then they will be held to pay. There will be a lot of chaos. The entire scenario will change. Why should we take that chance? We already saw what happened when a flight was hijacked to Kandahar. The same thing could happen when they hijack some high-profile players, kidnap some high-profile players, and then we'll be walking
Yeah, and
into a
which is
big
why,
mess. Why should
which is
Indian
why
cricket?
Vedam, which is why
Sorry?
Vedam, that often that Pakistan argument that's also always given, which is why I agree with you, Vedam, which is why that argument that often comes from Pakistan is that, India can send other players, its junior players, its blind team, other international teams have said that they are fine playing in India. Why does India have a problem? The fact still remains, and Major General Katoch would also agree with me before I go to him, is that any person with common sense will understand that terrorists look for a high-profile target, whether to attack or whether to kidnap. And there are no more high-profile targets in terms of getting eyeballs than the Indian cricket team. So obviously their security risk is far, far above that of any other disciplines or of any other cricketers of any other teams. Having said that, Major General Katoch, I will come to you. I just have a follow-up question with Vedam. The interesting aspect about this delays that is coming in from the ICC is, if my understanding of the calendar suits me correct, tomorrow is when the meeting is supposed to convene, but day after tomorrow, Jaishankar officially takes over as ICC chairman. And now, does that fundamentally alter the playing field at this point here, given the fact that then effectively one of the three most important members of the ICC will be someone who is to be very important in the BCCI?
No, I think what would happen is they will take a decision on this, especially if they go for a hybrid model or if they move the entire tournament elsewhere. It could happen. Looking at the violence in Pakistan, the entire tournament could be moved elsewhere, and Pakistan would probably get its turn later. But I think whatever decision has to be taken will be taken before Shah occupies the high seat, because they would not like him to occupy a high seat with a lot of controversy with each decision that he takes, especially if this will be the first decision. I feel that the ICC will take a decision tomorrow, and whether it's a hybrid model or moving the entire tournament out of Pakistan, we'll know tomorrow itself. I don't think they'll wait for Shah to take that seat and then take a, whatever you call it. We will not call it controversy, but Pakistan will call it a controversial decision right in the beginning. So I don't think Shah would like to begin his innings in that manner. That's my reading of it.
Okay. All right. So now that we have got the cricketing aspect of it or the sporting aspect of it, let's talk about security. Major General Dhruv Katoch, a lot of international people, even some people within India, had criticized and said that BCCI was essentially flexing its muscles and bullying the cricketing board using the clout it had, because otherwise ties were going with Pakistan as normal. India was ready to play Pakistan in every match internationally, but when it comes to going to Pakistan, it has an issue. Jaishankar can go for an international summit, but India can't go for an international tournament. But when you look at what is happening in Pakistan, the visuals of the sheer anarchy and destruction and chaos that we have seen on the streets of Islamabad over the past few days, it's evident this was a much well thought of decision here, because the country is still so volatile that a former prime minister in jail can give a call that can shut down the entire city and lead to the kind of violence and anarchy that we have seen in Pakistan.
Thank you. Yes, absolutely. I think it is important to understand the. There's an echo coming. Could that be taken off, please?
Major General, we'll try and fix that, but if you could go ahead with your response.
Okay. Right. Anyway. Oh, okay. I'll still continue. Doesn't matter. I'll still carry on. You see, when we are looking at this, security aspect, when we are looking at the security aspect,
I think what we'll do is
fundamental thing is that
we'll try and fix that connection. I can understand, Major General Khatoj, it will be quite unnerving to speak when you have an echo in your ear.
Now, this is where the problem is going to come in.
Give me 30 seconds, I'll fix that connection with you. Let me go.
It is not simply...
Let me go across to Vedam Jaishankar.
No, I'll come back again. It's not possible to get this on.
Yes, we'll fix that. I'm very sorry for the problem. We'll fix that, Major General Khatoj. Let me come to Vedam Jaishankar at this point. Vedam, what happens now in the ICC? Because at the end of the day, we still consider looking at seeing as ICC as an umbrella body with a group of wise men ruling over BCs or the boards. But the fact still remains that it is essentially a group of all 12 test-playing members who will have a vote. And tomorrow, from what I understand, if there's no consensus achieved, it will come down to a vote. If it does come to a vote, then where does India stand in terms of having the support of the other cricketing boards? What do you feel will happen?
If it comes down to a vote, I think all the countries would support India. Because let's not forget that all the countries need money. And money is going to come only from India for them to run their cricket or whatever affairs they want to do in the cricketing world. That money has to come from somewhere. And if they rub India the wrong way, there is no way the BCCI is going to take that kind of insult and sit back, because it will hit back. Even the bilateral series make a lot of money, especially when India is hosted in other countries. It brings with it a whole lot of sponsors. It brings with it a whole lot of television channels and a whole lot of other things. And that is why Indian cricket team is playing so many matches. Not just the main team, you're sending a substitute team, you're sending a B team, you're sending all sorts of them, because others want India to come and take part in their tournament or in their nation. And if it comes to India versus Pakistan in the ICC, there is no doubt whatsoever that Pakistan has nothing to offer. And, it's sensible. It's only in Pakistan that players have been attacked. It's not once, it's happened quite often. It's not happened elsewhere. So people know that there is a danger. Now, we saw what happened to the Sri Lankan A team. They've gone back. They don't want to get into this nonsense. So, and Pakistan itself is not confident that it can do things. For a long time, it held its Pakistan Super League in Dubai. It didn't even have the guts to hold it in Pakistan. So that's the status of that place. And now they're ring fencing and putting everything in one place. It's just not on. And look at even the Champions Trophy, what they have planned. Their stadiums are simply not complete. They broke down some stadiums. They said they'll rebuild the stadiums. And they've just started work. And now they've run out of money. They don't have money even to rebuild the stadiums. So there's no way that Pakistan, they may be indulging in a lot of brinkmanship, but there is no way that Pakistan can see through this. And I think Pakistan, sooner or later, must come to its senses that this is not going to take them too far.
Okay.
This situation in Pakistan is not ideal for any cricket. Forget about the Indian team going. And certainly the Indian cricket team should not go to Pakistan.
Okay. I'm being joined at this point by Omar Altaf, who's joining us from Pakistan. Omar, thank you for speaking to Mirror now. We were hoping you could join us a bit earlier, but connections was a problem, I understand. Omar, simple question here. When the Sri Lanka A team finds it too scary to go to Pakistan to tour, how can Pakistan expect an Indian cricket team to come to Champions Trophy? You can argue and cry hoarse as much as you want. Fact still remains, even Sri Lanka finds it unsafe to visit Pakistan. All right, we're having it's been one of those days, I think, where we've not been able to connect to a guest. I can try one last time with... with Major General Dhruv Katoch. Major General Katoch, I hope we have got the eco issues sorted. If we have, can you please go ahead with the point you were trying to make?
Right. So what I was saying was security is a major issue. And when we are looking at it from the terrorist point of view, the people who are operating as freedom fighters within Pakistan, what are they looking at? They are looking at a high-profile target. And why do they want a high-profile target? Because that is what gets the eyeballs. If you notice, you see what is happening in Pakistan. Why are they constantly hitting out at the Chinese? Now, the Chinese are the most well-protected people within Pakistan. The Pakistan army is protecting them. Yet the terrorists are going after them. And they have achieved success off and on. If the Indian cricket team goes there, it is going to be a target which is more high-profile than the Chinese even. Because that is going to give them all the eyeballs. I think it will be sheer stupidity for us to send our cricket team there. It is asking for trouble, because should something happen, then I think India will be forced to respond, and that response could perhaps even lead to full-scale war. So when we are looking at it overall, my personal recommendation is there is no way in which the Indian cricket team should go to Pakistan.
All right, Major General Dhruv Katoch and Vedam Jaishankar, thank you so much for joining us on this debate, on the Urban Debate. We are going to look forward to tomorrow to understand what the final decision is taken by the ICC. But that's it on the Urban Debate. On the other side, my colleague Shreya Upadhyay joins you with The Nation Tonight and on Global Mirror. Thanks a lot for watching.